These puppies are African hunting dogs. They are pack animals. This means they live and hunt in groups. When the puppies play together, they're not just having fun. Their play fighting is a power struggle. Each puppy is finding his place within the pack. By working in a structured team, the hunting dogs will be able to catch large prey. The Amerobius spider is one of the most generous mothers in the animal kingdom. After her babies have hatched from their silk cocoon, the mother goes to extreme lengths to make sure they have enough food. She offers herself as the main meal. If they go hungry, young spiders will eat their brothers and sisters. Baby savanna baboons live with their family in large groups known as troops. Sometimes there are up to 200 animals in a single troop. Baboons are intelligent and inquisitive creatures. They eat almost anything, including leaves, grass, and roots. A baby will only stay with its mother for a few months. She carries it in her arms, and when it is a little older, it rides on her back. It's spring, and these two black bear cubs are full of energy. After spending 2 months in their den after birth, the cubs have come out frisky and boisterous. They'll stay with their mother for the next 2 years, and she will teach them to hunt. This bird's nest has been invaded. The larger egg on the right is a cuckoo's egg. Cuckoos lay their eggs in the nests of other birds so that their young are fed by other parents. The baby cuckoo pushes the other eggs out of the nest. It now has all the food to itself and quickly grows big and strong. Like the adults, baby comb-crested jacanas have incredibly long, thin toes that enable them to walk across lily pads floating on water. Yet even a chick's light-footed steps can catch the attention of a hungry water snake. The alert mother sprints over to her chick, scoops it under her wing, and carries it out of danger. Tanmar wallabies carry their babies in a pouch until they are grown up enough to look after themselves. A newborn wallaby is the size of a jelly bean. After it has been born, it wriggles into its mother's pouch and sucks at one of her teats. When the baby is a few months old, it stays in or near the pouch to avoid danger. This strange-looking fish is an arowana mouth brooder. The reason it is called a mouth brooder is that once the male has fertilized the eggs, he protects them by holding them in his mouth while they develop. Once hatched, the young fish swim near the safety of their father's mouth. If an enemy approaches, he sucks them up out of danger. Sea otters are excellent swimmers. Using their paddle-shaped feet, they plunge in and out of the water with great skill. Baby sea otters are called pups. A mother will carry her pup on her front as she paddles on her back. Sea otters eat shellfish, using a stone to crack open the shells. These remarkable fish are seahorses. The most extraordinary thing about these creatures is that the father carries the babies in a pouch. During courtship, seahorses swim with their tails curled together. The female then lays her eggs in the male's pouch. He looks after the young until they are a few weeks old. This toad has a simple but effective way of frightening off a hungry snake. As the snake approaches, the toad inflates its body so that it looks twice its normal size. The snake thinks that the toad is too big for it to swallow, so it slinks off, looking for a bite-sized snack. This incredible creature is a Calyptratus chameleon. Its brilliant colors are not merely decoration. When the chameleon confronts a rival, its colors work like war paint. By intensifying its colors and hissing ferociously, the chameleon tries to frighten its challenger. In this case, however, the aggressor retaliates by brightening its colors. The defender is overwhelmed by this flamboyant display, and it surrenders. Its skin darkens and it slopes off under the branch. Cuttlefish can escape the notice of their enemies by changing color to match their surroundings. They do this by adjusting special color cells in their skin. Here, one cuttlefish has blended with the seaweed behind. When on the bottom of the sea, cuttlefish can fade to a sandy color. The decorator crab has a very clever way of disguising itself from predators. It covers its body with things it finds on the seabed. By tickling this sea anemone, the decorator crab makes it relax its grip on the rock. The crab can then pluck up the anemone and plant it on the back of its shell. If a predator comes too close, they risk being stung by the sea anemone's tentacles. The hognose snake has an ingenious way of fooling its predators. It can pretend to be a deadly rattlesnake. In this case, the snake's performance won't save it, as the approaching indigo snake also eats rattlesnakes. The hognose snake tries his second act. It plays dead. First, it rolls on its back in convulsions, and then it gives off an unappetizing death stench. This does the trick, and the indigo snake retreats. Zebras have startling black and white striped patterns all over their body. Unlike many animal disguises, this coloring is not used as a camouflage. The stripes are meant to be noticed. In a herd of zebras, the stripes mix together to confuse their predators, so they can't single out one victim. Some animals have armor on their heads. The southern cassowary has a protective head covering called a casque. This bird lives in dense rainforests, full of vegetation and low-hanging branches. Its casque prevents the bird from knocking itself out as it pushes through the undergrowth. Elephants are like huge, impenetrable tanks. Their sheer size and their tough skin protect them from attack. Armed with sharp tusks, elephants clashed with rivals to compete for power within the herd. Don't worry, these baby African elephants are only play fighting. Hedgehogs are covered in over 7,000 spines that stick out at all angles. When there is a threat of danger, a hedgehog will wrap itself into a ball. Here, this African hedgehog's spikes protect it from a black-footed cat. Eventually, the cat gives up and the danger passes. Hermit crabs live inside the shells of dead animals, their soft body curled up and protected inside the shell. When they grow out of their shell, they move into one more spacious. Using their large front claw to steady themselves, they hoist their curled body into their new home. Sometimes hermit crabs fight over a good home. The winner gets the shell, and the loser is forced to look elsewhere. This Honduran milk snake's skin is made up of hundreds of tiny overlapping scales. These protect it from the rough ground as it slithers along and from damage by predators. Several times a year, the snake slides out of its worn-out skin to reveal a new skin that's grown underneath. The snake releases a milky fluid which helps it slip out of its skin, leaving the skin behind in one ghostly piece. The spiny lobster has a hard, jointed crust which protects its body from attack. This armored outfit is called an exoskeleton. When it becomes too small, it is shed. The lobster literally crawls out of its protective crust. The body quickly expands, and then a fresh exoskeleton hardens over it. These balls of spines are sea urchins. They look like underwater hedgehogs. Their long spikes protect them from hungry fish. The spines can be tilted in different directions by tiny muscles. Some sea urchins have poisonous spines. A geometric tortoise is a moving fortress. Its bumpy, domed shell stops predators from biting its body. The shell is made up of about 60 bony plates. These plates are covered with a layer of tough scales. There is also a thick shell under the tortoise's belly, which ensures that the tortoise is protected on all sides. The fearsome black widow spider is one of the most dangerous spiders in the world. Its lethal bite can even kill human beings. Here, a scorpion has been trapped in the spider's sticky web. Just one poisonous jab kills the scorpion with barely a struggle. The black widow spider can now enjoy its huge supper at its leisure. This is a deadly coral snake. Its venomous bite is so powerful, it can kill human beings in a matter of hours. Fortunately, the coral snake feeds on other snakes and lizards. Floating in the sea, this extraordinary umbrella-shaped creature is a lion's mane jellyfish. Its long, trailing tentacles are beautiful, but extremely harmful. Armed with special cells, these tentacles can sting and paralyze small sea creatures. Once dead, the creatures are moved by the jellyfish to its mouth and eaten. Lions stalk their prey in packs. When they are close enough, they lunge at their victim, sink their teeth and claws into its flesh, and pull it down to the ground. They usually kill their prey by biting its throat. The pack of lions then settle down to eat at their leisure. They have sharp teeth that can tear off chunks of meat which are swallowed whole. The terrifying fanged spitting cobra has a potent poison. Its bite could kill you in just 15 minutes. When it feels threatened, it lifts the front of its body. Then it tilts back its head and spits poison into the eyes of its attacker. The cobra can use its tongue to detect the smell of its prey. By flicking out its tongue, it picks up scent particles in the air. Lion cubs live in groups known as prides with their mother. When they're young, they drink their mother's milk and she brings them food. But cubs must learn how to hunt for themselves. By playing, they build up their strength and learn hunting techniques. All this romping around can be tiring, and lion cubs often need a cat nap.